Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Dear Venerable Sangha, Buddhist ladies and gentlemen, you are invited to join us in this weekly Buddhist newsreel on Phật Sự Online channel. Here after 6 major headlines of Buddhist activities of the week. Annunciation ULLAMBANA Filial PIETY Fiesta of Buddha Calendar 2565. Online chanting daily for Medicine Buddha Sutra to pray for ending the COVID-19 pandemic. Buddhist Sangha support people in quarantine. Online training course on basics of Buddhism. Training course Professional Tasking of Dharma Enactment in Era 4.0 Industry. Updated news on COVID-19 pandemic in Vietnam. The following are news in details. On August 3, 2021, Most Venerable Thích Thiện Nhơn, Chairman of the Administrative Council of Vietnam Buddhist Sangha, signed the Annunciation number 193 TB-HDTS on organizing the Great Fiesta of ULLAMBANA Filial Piety, Buddha Calendar 2565, that has been sent to the section and monastery, provincial administrative boards, VBS, monks and nuns and Buddhist ladies in monasteries.
In the Annunciation, Most Venerable praises the spirit of mutual support and cooperation of the Buddhists who have joined the political system and authorities at all levels during the COVID-19 pandemic, while staying in place to practice chanting and praying for the epidemic to be eradicated soon, provide charity meals to the poor and frontline workers against epidemics, volunteering to serve patients in isolation wards and field hospitals for COVID-19 treatment. Most Venerable affirms that those actions are meaningful roses. During this year's ULLAMBANA Filial Piety session, the standing members of Administrative Council respectfully request monks, nuns, Buddhists in monasteries continue to carry out the confinement, whoever is inside there, chanting ULLAMBANA Sutra to pay filial piety to their parents and dedicate to the ancestors, heroes, and martyrs, so as the epidemic could be eradicated, national peace and security restored soon. It is not recommended to aggregate in large numbers in rituals on ULLAMBANA Filial Piety Day. The Central Board of Dharma Enactment, the Central Board of Buddhist Guide, the monks and nuns of the monasteries should creatively promote the online activities during this year's ULLAMBANA Filial Piety session to meet the spiritual needs of the Buddhist deities and people. At the same time, thanks to the blessing of monks and nuns, it continues to bring in positive energy to save people to overcome the psychological crisis during the long time of social distancing. Monasteries with a large number of monks and nuns in confinement, if the ULLAMBANA Filial Piety is to be organized, they need to notify the local authorities and must strictly follow the instructions in Official Dispatch number 186 HDTS VP1, dated July 28, 2021. In the process of organizing ULLAMBANA Filial Piety Fiesta, they must strictly comply with the 5K rules and the regulations on prevention and control of COVID-19 of the Ministry of Health. Monks, nuns, and Buddhists are encouraged to continue the support in the funds of COVID-19 prevention and vaccination so that everyone can get free vaccines to save people. Vietnam Buddhist Sangha calls on Buddhist ashrams to continue to provide charity meals to help the disadvantaged people who are under the impact of the COVID-19 epidemic during the ULLAMBANA Filial Piety session.
In the context of the new strain of COVID-19 Delta spreading rapidly in Ho Chi Minh City and most provinces, Most Venerable Thích Thiện Nhơn, Chairman of the Administrative Council VBS, has called on Buddhists nationwide at 9 a.m. chanting daily the Medicine Buddha Sutra online to pray that the COVID-19 pandemic will dissipate for the people to return to normal life. Responding to the call of Most Venerable Chairman, the online chanting of Buddhists is still being maintained since July 27, 2021 at 9 a.m. every morning, with the belief that together we spread the peaceful energy, redirecting merit to pray for the people's safety, epidemic dissipation.
The online prayer ceremony for reciting the Medicine Buddha Sutra has been alternated by venerables and monasteries across the country so that Buddhists can both participate and expand their understanding of the different chanting rituals of the virtues of the monasteries of the North, Central, South, as well as the ritual performance of the Buddhist sects. After the opening ceremony on the 27th of July, Most Venerable Thích Huệ Thông acted as a master, according to Southern Rite. The venerable dignified monks and Buddhists across the country continued to recite on the 28th of July, presided by Most Venerable Thích Huệ Phước, Vice Head of the Central Board of Culture Vietnam Buddhist Sangha. He guided the chanting rituals of Huế, representing the Central region. On the 29th of July, Venerable Thích Minh Quang, standing subordinate abbot of Tam Trúc Pagoda, Bai Đinh Pagoda in Ninh Bình Province, presided over the ceremony, through which Buddhists were guided according to the Northern chanting ritual. On the 30th of July, Buddhists also received guidance from Venerable Thích Minh Nhẫn, chairman of the ceremony, to count down 108 times to pay homage to Medicine Buddha. Venerable Thích Trì Trơn, head of the Buddhist Culture Board of Ho Chi Minh City, the abbot of Khánh An Monastery, District 12, presided over the ceremony and guided the worshipping according to the ritual of meditation and chanting. On the 2nd of August, Buddhists recited under the guidance of the venerables of Theravada Buddhism, Most Venerable Danh Động, while the Manikan Thích Giác Hoàng presided over the ceremony. On the 3rd of August, Venerable Thích Tâm Mãn, abbot of Minh Thanh Pagoda, Gia Lai Province, presided over the ceremony, and the Buddhists were guided to know the ritual of chanting in time to Buddhist music. Venerable is known as an outstanding monk with his talent of painting, designing the worshipping altar set up by himself, and on this occasion, Venerable established the Medicine Buddha's altar in a very dignified and pure posture. Through this, Buddhists can understand the ritual of chanting and reciting the sutras of the venerables from the north to the south, thus enriching the spiritual life. The online chanting of the Medicine Buddha Sutra will continue until the end of the 15th of August, which is also the occasion of the end of Vesta season of the venerable monks and nuns nationwide.
Recently, Ho Chi Minh City is facing the rapid spread of COVID-19 Delta strain, making many people difficult in daily life when the isolation period is prolonged. Faced with that situation, monks, nuns, and Buddhists all over the country have joined hands to support people in quarantine to overcome the pandemic with practical charity activities. Here's a summary of some of the charitable activity in this hard time.
Ho Chi Minh City Buddhist Culture Department and Khánh An Monastery. Recently, the relief team has supported the districts in the city with nearly 200 tons of rice, 10,000 boxes of instant noodles, and 20 tons of vegetables during the quarantine. Continuing this charity program, the team supported 22 tons of rice on August 2nd, 2021 for the people in the remaining 3 districts, District 7, Nhà Bè and Cần Giờ rural districts. Backing up this charity activity is the contribution of Buddhists from domestic businesses and Buddhists in the United States. Bình Thuận, responding to the call of the Provincial Buddhist Social Affairs Board to distribute a large number of dragon fruits, a specialty fruit of Bình Thuận Province, to support the people in quarantine time, in Ho Chi Minh City and southern provinces, gardeners and businesses have joined hands to contribute to this charity activity. On August 1 and 2, 2021, Master Nên Nguyên Minh, abbot of Phước Minh Pagoda, Bình Thuận Province, has transferred over 50 tons of dragon fruit to monastery and frontline medical workers in Ho Chi Minh City, supporting the people in quarantine areas in Bình Dương and Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu provinces. Lâm Đồng Province, monks and Buddhists at Giác Hải Pagoda have mobilized, donated and transported hundreds of tons of clean agricultural products to support people in quarantine in Ho Chi Minh City. Venerable Thích Trí Định, abbot of Giác Hải Pagoda, and monks and Buddhists have harvested and packed each bunch of vegetables, cabbage, tomato, and eggplant to send to the epidemic area to support the people with hundreds of tons of agricultural products. On the morning of July 31st, 2021, the 28th lorry, carrying 17 tons of vegetables and fruits, was received by the Vietnam Fatherland Front Committee in Ho Chi Minh City. The 29th and 30th lorries arrived at the House of Culture, Binh Thanh District, to distribute offerings to monks and nuns at the Vietnam Buddhist University Campus 2, monasteries and support kitchens for charity. Giác Ngộ Pagoda is a place that provides hundreds of charity meals daily. This charity activity is sponsored by the Buddhists of Giác Hải Pagoda and the donors with a total value of 200 million Vietnam dong. Giác Hải Pagoda is continuing to advocate for more lorry trips to help the people overcome the COVID-19 pandemic. The Buddhist Administrative Board and the Buddhist Charity Board in Đà Lạt performed their charity, facilitated by Đà Lạt City Public Security. In the early morning of August 3rd, 2021, Thanh Tâm Pagoda in Ho Chi Minh City received 40 tons of vegetables and fruits and 100 boxes of instant noodles donated by the Administrative Board, the Charity Board, VBS in Đà Lạt, and City Public Security to support the university and the people in quarantine areas against COVID-19 in Bình Chánh and Bình Tân districts. Master Ninh Thích Nữ Như Nguyệt, Vice Head of VBU, received and distributed the offerings to each commune in Bình Chánh District and Tân Tạo Ward, Bình Tân District, the Sang Vàng Charity Kitchen at Phạm Ngọc Thạch Medical University, and the people around the lockdown areas. In addition, Thanh Tâm Pagoda and Sang Vàng Charity Group also offer over 1 ton of rice for each unit. Buddhist Culture Magazine and Phật Sự Online Channel, PSO, and the Compassionate Heart Youth Association. For a duration of 2 days, July 31st and August 1st, 2021, Venerable Thích An Nhiên, member of Administrative Board, head of English language version of Buddhist Culture Magazine and PSO, in collaboration with the Compassion Heart Youth Association, continued to donate more than 60 tons of vegetables and fruits to the monasteries in Ho Chi Minh City. The kitchen also served the frontline forces with meals and to support the people in the lockdown areas and accommodation for workers in the districts. Venerable Thích An Nhiên expressed his gratitude to dignitaries, domestic and Buddhist overseas, who have supported the program Sharing Love during the COVID-19 pandemic. We wish all the Venerable and Buddhists peace of mind, good health, and success in their Buddhism. We are praying that the COVID-19 pandemic will soon end for the peaceful world and prosperous Vietnam, for the people living in wealth and happiness.
Due to the spreading and lasting revenge of the COVID-19 pandemic, all activities and large aggregation at monastery had to be halted. In order to help Buddhism learn basics of Buddhism, the Dharma Enactment Section, VBS, in collaboration with PSO, organized online course on the basics of Buddhism for ladies. Buddhists at 8 p.m. every day from July 13, 2021. The purpose of the course is to improve the knowledge in Dharma so that each Buddhist can understand and assimilate the Buddha Dharma. The course lasts for 1 month with lectures arranged by topics and taught by Venerable of VBS.
Students listened to Most Venerable Thích Bảo Nghiêm, head of the Dharma Enactment Section. He performed a sermon on the meaning of prince-to-daughter ordination. With the lecture of Venerable Thích Minh Nhẫn on the topic, Core Values of Buddhism, the students imparted 2 core values, suffering and to end the suffering. Those who had experienced the suffering, to get it as a pain that fosters the will, the learners beware of karma, cause and effect to transform for a happier life. With the topic, A Brief Introduction to the History of the Buddha, Venerable Thích Phước Nghiêm, Vice Head of the Dharma Enactment Section, shared about the life of the Buddha, starting from his birth, ordination, and ending with Nirvana. With the topic, Take Refuge in the Three Jewels as the Buddhist followers, the students imparted a lecture by Venerable Thích Thiện Xuân, permanent member of Dharma Enactment Section. He explained what is meant by taking refuge in the Three Jewels, why should we take refuge, who should take refuge, how to properly understand about taking refuge in the Three Jewels. To become a Buddhist followers according to Buddhist rules, what should we do? The students also got involved in discussion over the topic, why worship the Buddha, meaning of bowing to Buddha, worshipping the Buddha, and offering to Buddha, by Venerable Thích Thiện Tuệ, member in the lecturer training subsection of Dharma enactment section. Each day is spent on one topic. The students also understand the meaning of chanting and reciting mantras, duties of ladies, contemplating over the impermanence, life of moderate desire and just adequate knowledge, basic posture. The lectures were welcomed by the venerable dignitaries as they were extremely meaningful and attractive to listeners. Through the self-confounding sermons, the Buddhist ladies responded with very positive feedback to the organizing board and the lecturers. The course has timely met the desire to practice, study, and other aspiration of ladies from near and far to learn more about the Buddha Dharma.
In addition to organizing an online course on basic Buddhism for Buddhists in the context of the spreading and dooming of COVID-19 pandemic, the Dharma Enactment Section, VBS and PSO organized a training course on professional tasking of the Buddhist Dharma Enactment in the Era 1.0 industry for the venerables, monks, and nuns every day at 1:30 with 23 academic subjects. The training course aimed to improve the skills of Dharma preaching so that lecturers can spread the Buddha Dharma.
With the topic, Skills of Organizing Retreats for Buddhist Laity, monks and nuns heard the sermon delivered by Most Venerable Thích Minh Thiện, Vice Head of the Dharma Enactment Section, who shared his views on organizing a retreat and things to keep in mind when organizing retreats for laymen and Buddhist laities. The organization of the retreat is to propagate the Dharma, to benefit and to propagate the Buddhist Dharma to all sentient beings. The course participants were also told more about skills for organizing a youth retreat in the Era 4.0 industry by Venerable Thích Phước Nghiêm. Venerable Thích Minh Quang also shared on skills for organizing summer retreats in the Era 4.0 industry so that participants can get various abundant information from experienced monks. With the topic, The Art of Sermon and Oratory, the participants were taught by Venerable Thích Thiện Thuận, who has shared about three main contents that the lecturer needs to master: pedagogy, attitude, intonation, and expression. To be successful in the art of preaching and speaking in public, what conditions must a lecturer need? How are the skills performed? That is the content shared by Most Venerable Thích Bửu Chánh, Vice Head of the Dharma Enactment Section. The Most Venerable highlighted 32 standards for application and practice. With a variety of practical topics, students were taught with lecturers on skills in teaching, practicing and enlightening the Dharma, expressive reading and speaking techniques, preaching skills online. Each topic attracted the concerns and interest and responsive feedback from the participants. Those were also the early accomplishments of the program.
According to the National System of COVID-19 Case Management, during the past 12 hours, from 6 p.m. on August 5th to 6 a.m. on August 6th, Vietnam recorded 4,009 new infections, 823 cases in the community, the highest number of new infections in Ho Chi Minh City with 2,563 cases, following by its neighboring provinces such as Bình Dương, Long An, Tiền Giang, Đồng Nai, and other provinces.
The number of new infections recorded in the country since the 27th of April 2021 of the fourth outbreak so far is nearly 200,000 infections and more than 2,000 deaths due to COVID-19 Delta strain. Currently, the number of critically ill patients being treated in the ICU is 486 and the number of critically ill patients receiving ECMO is 20. A total number of tests in nearly 7 million samples for more than 19 million persons. Vietnam is endorsing the vaccination for people in Ho Chi Minh City and also conducting online training on the process of managing people infected with SARS-CoV-2 being quarantined at home. Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu province also implemented the pilot plan and regulations to implement F1 isolation at home starting from 12 a.m. on the 10th of August. Recently, Ho Chi Minh City and epidemic areas in the provinces are still continuing to implement social distancing according to Directive 16 of the Prime Minister until the end of the 15th of August 2021.
Venerable monks and nuns, Buddhist ladies and gentlemen, the last news has signed off this weekly newsreel. Thank you for your attention and following. Goodbye and see you in the next program on PSO TV channel. Namo Sakya Muni Buddha.